So just to briefly remind you, there was a methamphetamine case, and in the house where they found the meth lab was a book about manufacturing methamphetamine. Outside of the house was an envelope with someone's name on it that came from the Tattered cover, and the police wanted to connect the book in the house with the envelope in the trash, I guess it was, to nail this guy. And so they had originally had a subpoena a few months earlier than the search warrant that Joyce and our lawyers said, no, that's not going to do it, and they went away, and we thought that was the end of it. And then in April of 2000, 6 police officers, and I just imagine these, big boots, march into Joyce's office with a search warrant, and a search warrant is something that you're supposed to just say, okay, you can't fight it. But Joyce said, let me call my lawyer, and miraculously she got him right on the phone, and they stalled the police officers, and they went away, and we fought it in court, and you can help me with the details, but it went to first the district court, and the judge decided sort of a little bit for both sides, and I'll say in the meantime there's articles in the newspaper pretty much every day about this, that we're not helping the police nail the meth guy, and anyway, it went on for the issue went on for a couple of years. Finally, in April of 2002, it had gone to the Colorado Supreme Court, and they ruled unanimously, except for I think one abstention, in our favor, and we won. So this is a 2-year process that it felt like almost every day there was something in the newspaper about this. It was big headlines, and there was a really big controversy because people thought, some people thought we weren't supporting the police, but more people were so happy that Joyce would not turn over the records of, did I explain that we wouldn't turn over the records of this guy? And she wouldn't do it, she wouldn't do it, and is Joyce going to go to jail, and what's going to happen? And we had people coming in, every day when I was on the floor, you have people coming in thanking us for that, and saying, we really appreciate what you're doing for us, and the whole community certainly, but beyond that, we had calls and help and support from all over the country, and even though this was, what, now 8 years ago that it all began, people still talk about it, and people still say, you're so important to the community, your stand is so important, and they just don't forget. And in these lean times, when people have a choice to spend money where they're going to spend their money, this is still something that they remember and know that we're not going to ever turn over records in the middle of the wars.
Cathy, what records were they looking for that you refused to turn over?
They wanted to look at the. Sorry, I didn't explain that. All of the purchasing records of this guy who was a customer of the store, and they wanted to find the documentation that said he ordered this book about methamphetamine that we mailed to him in this envelope, and there's a really funny end of the story too, which I won't. In 2003, there was a panel about this, and a lot of the parties involved were on the panel, and actually this was all documented in a movie for HBO, which was very fun. But the panel, the attorney for the defendant was on the panel among other people, and the contents of that envelope had not ever been revealed. Everyone's assuming it's this book about how to make methamphetamine, and the attorney for this guy was given permission to finally reveal it, and it turned out that the book he'd ordered was a book on Japanese calligraphy. It wasn't, it had nothing to do with methamphetamine, which was so perfect because it supported what Joyce had been saying all along, that this was not, you just wouldn't turn the records over, and you can't prove that someone's done something, even by, if he actually bought the book on methamphetamine. I mean, people buy those kinds of books to, law enforcement officers buy them to find out what they're up to. I mean, you can't convict someone for what they're reading.